When purchasing light bulb in the market, you may notice that two parameters that are surely in the specification, which are voltage and luminous flux. Voltage is the rate at which electrical energy is transferred to power, or you may simply understand it as the amount of electricity. Luminous flux represents how bright this bulb can be. There are plenty of methods to measure luminous flux in the field, and we usually measure it with lumen or lux. However, have you ever thought about how to interpret these data? Well, to observe them separately is somehow meaningless. The correct way to interpret them is to calculate the luminous flux to voltage ratio, namely the efficacy. Efficacy represents the efficiency of a light source, which means how much energy do you need to put into a bulb to produce a given amount of light. Generally, old-style bulbs consume more electricity to produce a given amount of light than new bulbs such as LED. That's to say, higher the efficacy, the better. But in IntelliCAD, things become a little different. There are 4 types of lights in IntelliCAD. You may notice that they are measured in different units. As we have mentioned that practically watt, lumen, and lux are incomparable. So how can we compare these light sources' intensities in IntelliCAD? Here, let's do an experiment. In this scene, we set 2 general light sources on either side of the wall. Both light sources are incandescent lights with the same size and intensity. The only difference is one is in blue and the other in red. Now let's turn on lights. Now we can see the blue light and the red light have the same influence on the scene. Ray trace and take a snapshot. Also, we measure the blue and red channel distribution for reference. Now I change the red light's intensity unit from watt to lumen and see whether its influence is the same with the previous experiment. Well, it seems that the blue light dominates. So now I multiply the red light intensity with integral numbers gradually and see when would it produce the closest blue and red channel distribution with the first experiment. Then I will know the intensity difference between lumen and watts in IntelliCAD. As the result shows, when the ratio is 10:1, the distribution in these 2 experiments match up the best. We did the same experiment with lux to watt and got a very similar results. So we come to a conclusion that in IntelliCAD, when general light is incandescent light, 1 watt approximately equals to 10 lumen or 10 lux. Moreover, IntelliCAD has 7 types of general lights that are measured in watts, but with different efficacy. With the same experiment, we can find their relative intensities. And since incandescent light is the default light source type, and 1 watt of incandescent light has a very similar lighting effect to 10 lumen or 10 lux. Therefore, I strongly suggest whenever you set general lights, just use incandescent lights, for it can make comparison with other types of light sources very easily. So based on this intensity comparison, you can easily find out how to set your light's intensity to produce the brightness transition you want.